village of Pinebrook, nestled between rolling hills and whispering woods, lived a young girl named Amelia. Amelia was a curious and adventurous child with a heart as big as her imagination. Her favorite pastime was exploring the enchanted forest that bordered her home, where she dreamed of discovering magical creatures and hidden treasures. One crisp autumn morning, Amelia's mother, Mrs. Swift, was preparing breakfast. The smell of fresh bread and sizzling bacon wafted through the house, making Amelia's stomach rumble. But today, Mrs. Swift had a special treat planned: porridge. As Amelia entered the kitchen, she noticed her mother stirring a large pot on the stove with an old wooden spoon. The pot was covered with a vibrant hand-woven cloth, which Mrs. Swift lifted just long enough to add a pinch of cinnamon. "What are you making, Mom?" Amelia asked, her eyes wide with anticipation. "Porridge," Mrs. Swift replied with a warm smile. "But not just any porridge. This is a special recipe I learned from your grandmother." Amelia's curiosity was piqued. "What makes it special?" "Well," Mrs. Swift began, her eyes twinkling with a hint of mischief, "it's said that this porridge has magical properties. Your grandmother used to say that it could grant one special wish if you ate it with a grateful heart." Amelia's eyes grew even wider. "A magical wish porridge? Can we try it now?" Mrs. Swift laughed softly. "We'll see. But remember, magic is about believing in it and using it wisely." As the morning sun poured through the kitchen window, Mrs. Swift served the porridge into bowls. It was steaming hot and smelled of sweet cinnamon and nutty oats. Amelia took a big spoonful and savored the warm, creamy texture. Her eyes sparkled as she thought about what wish she might make. After breakfast, Amelia couldn't wait to put the porridge's magic to the test. She decided to head into the enchanted forest, her favorite place where adventure always awaited. She packed a small satchel with a few essentials: a map, a flashlight, and a snack just in case. The forest was alive with color. The trees wore coats of orange, red, and gold, and the leaves crunched pleasantly under Amelia's boots. She walked along her usual path, but today felt different, as if the forest was holding its breath in anticipation of something exciting. As she ventured deeper into the woods, she noticed a small hidden path she had never seen before. It was narrow and overgrown with vines, but Amelia's adventurous spirit urged her to follow it. She pushed aside the branches and continued, her excitement growing with each step. The path led to a clearing, and in the center of it stood an ancient oak tree. Its trunk was massive, and its branches spread out like welcoming arms. At the base of the tree was a small wooden door, almost camouflaged by the tree's bark. Amelia's heart raced as she reached for the door. "Hello," she called softly, her voice echoing in the stillness. To her surprise, the door creaked open on its own, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. Amelia took a deep breath and began to descend. The staircase was dimly lit by glowing mushrooms that dotted the walls, casting a magical, soft light. At the bottom of the stairs, Amelia found herself in a cozy underground chamber. It was filled with shelves of strange, shimmering bottles, ancient scrolls, and curious trinkets. In the center of the room stood a large, ornate table with a single item on it, a golden bowl of porridge. Amelia's eyes widened. Could this be another bowl of magical porridge? She wondered aloud. Just then, a gentle voice spoke from behind her. "Welcome, Amelia." She turned around to see a small, friendly-looking gnome with a long white beard and twinkling eyes. He wore a hat that was a shade of emerald green and had a small satchel slung over his shoulder. I'm Elder Bramble, the gnome said with a bow. I tend to the magic of the enchanted forest. I've been expecting you. Amelia was both excited and a little nervous. You've been expecting me? Why? Elder Bramble smiled. The magical porridge you ate has guided you here. It is a rare and wondrous gift that only reveals itself to those who are truly in need of a special wish. Amelia's eyes lit up. I have a wish. I wish for a way to help the animals in the forest. They've been having a hard time finding enough food lately. Elder Bramble nodded thoughtfully. A noble wish indeed. The enchanted forest thrives on harmony between its creatures and its magic. But to grant your wish, we must first solve a little puzzle. He gestured to a large book on one of the shelves. This is the Book of Forest Wisdom. It holds the answers you seek. But it is enchanted and will only open if you solve the riddle on its cover. Amelia approached the book and read the riddle. To help the creatures of the wood find what's lost but understood ... in the heart where dreams are spun. The answer waits, and then you'll see the magic needed for harmony. Amelia thought deeply about the riddle. What could be lost but understood and found in the heart of dreams? She closed her eyes and pictured the forest and its animals, imagining their struggles and the happiness they might feel if their needs were met. Slowly, an idea began to take shape in her mind. It's the joy and hope in their hearts, Amelia said aloud. If we give them hope and dreams for a better future, that's what will bring them the help they need. Elder Bramble's eyes twinkled with approval. Exactly. The answer is hope and dreams. The magic of the forest is fueled by the belief in a better tomorrow. Here, take this. He handed Amelia a small silver acorn. This acorn holds the essence of dreams and hope. If you plant it in the center of the forest, it will grow into a magical tree that will provide the animals with everything they need. Amelia thanked Elder Bramble and carefully carried the acorn back up the staircase. As she emerged into the forest, she felt a sense of purpose and excitement. She made her way to the heart of the forest, a place where the trees seemed to hum with ancient magic. There, in a small clearing, Amelia planted the silver acorn in the rich, dark soil. She whispered her wish for the animals and watered the acorn with a little bit of the magical porridge she had brought along. Almost immediately, the acorn began to glow with a soft golden light. Within moments, the acorn sprouted into a magnificent tree, its branches adorned with shimmering fruits and nuts. The air filled with a sweet, calming aroma, and the forest seemed to come alive with renewed energy. Birds sang joyous melodies, and animals emerged from their homes to marvel at the new tree. Amelia watched with awe as the animals gathered around the tree, their eyes filled with wonder and gratitude. She knew that her wish had come true and that the forest would be thriving once more. Elder Bramble appeared beside her, his face beaming with pride. You've done a great thing today, Amelia. The magic of the forest is now stronger than ever, thanks to your selfless wish. Amelia smiled warmly. Thank you, Elder Bramble. And thank you to the magical porridge for leading me here. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the forest, Amelia made her way back home. She felt a deep sense of satisfaction and joy, knowing that she had made a difference. When she arrived home, Mrs. Swift was waiting for her with a concerned look. Where have you been, Amelia? I was worried. Amelia hugged her mother tightly. I had an amazing adventure and helped the animals in the forest. The magical porridge worked. Mrs. Swift's eyes widened with amazement. I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. That night, as Amelia drifted off to sleep, she dreamed of the magical tree and the happy animals of the forest. She knew that the true magic wasn't just in the porridge, but in the kindness and hope that came from within her heart. The enchanted forest flourished once more, and Amelia became known as the girl whose wish had brought harmony and joy to the woods. Every year, the villagers of Pinebrook would gather to share stories of Amelia's adventure, reminding everyone that magic is always within reach if you believe in it with all your heart. The end.
Amelia and the magical porridge. Amelia and the magical